Okay, sometimes episodes kind of come to me, and my assistant probably on those weeks wants to kill me because I'm like, put this episode in place of this other one. And that is because sometimes things just sort of come from the heart. And this one, that's what this episode is today. I was reading client check-ins and I kept thinking, we need to talk about this. Okay, here's the thing. Have you ever realized that you're spending more time thinking about your weight and your health than actually doing anything about it? And listen, I don't mean this in a judgy way at all. This isn't like me calling you out. I see it all the time, and I was there myself. We carry the weight in our heads for years, the weight of trying to figure it out, starting over, feeling stuck, even before we start. And it's exhausting. And here's the thing, and I didn't realize this when I was going through it, but I see this all the time with clients too. It's exhausting, but it's invisible to everyone but you. And that stood out to me again this week. It was how many of the women we work with who, after just 1 week, start realizing just what I'm talking about. Like one woman said this week, like she was realizing how much time and energy that she's been putting into trying to get her act together. She said it was constantly on my mind. She said she woke up every single morning hoping that she could make better choices today. And it's not just about like people trying to count calories or tracking their food, but it's that constant, even low level stress of trying to get it all right. Like one woman said, I realized, and again, this was someone in week one, she said, I realized that I wasn't setting boundaries at work or at home. And for the first time in week one, she started asking people to help her out instead of trying to do everything all on her own, and that she didn't have to feel guilty about that. Another woman told me it was like her brain got quiet, and oh my gosh, that resonated with me. That idea of like I can finally breathe. And what I notice is that when our clients early in our coaching program start to realize these things, their scale also moves. And it hit me again this week. Like, we don't talk about this enough. We don't talk about how loud that mental chatter really is when it comes to our food, our health, our body, how we feel, the weight, right? And we don't talk about how much that noise affects really everything else in our lives. And I think this is the part that catches women off guard. It's that once that noise starts to quiet down some, even just a little, the other stuff comes up, right? Things like, I am realizing that I say yes when I really want to say no. Or I'm realizing I never ask for help. I still just do it all, and my kids are grown. Or I'm realizing that I've been holding it together for everybody, and that's making me tired. And so it's like, even sometimes before the scale moves, they start to lose the real weight, right? The weight that's in your mind. That starts to lift oftentimes first. And honestly, that starts to make room for the other real change to happen, for the inches to drop, for the scale to drop. And so I feel like today I just want to say this really, really loud for those of you in the back of the room. You don't need to try harder. That's not what's missing. You've been trying harder for months, hell, for years. Some of you really for decades. You've been like white knuckling it through every do-over on Monday, every new month when the first comes around and you're trying to like reset all your eating at one time. You're hoping if you just push yourself a little more, things will finally start to click. You know what I mean? But consider this, okay? What if that shift doesn't come from you putting in more energy, more effort? What if it comes from releasing the pressure, like a pressure cooker, you know? I know we're all old enough to remember pressure cookers. So what if it does come from releasing some of that pressure, like from actually choosing something that works with your life, not against it? And you have to be in a place, I think, where you really genuinely want that too. Because I'll be honest, I think for some of us, we kind of enjoy being relied on. We kind of, in this almost masochistic way, we want to keep doing, we want to complain about doing everything, but we kind of want to keep doing everything because we want our grown kids to rely on us. We want people at work to rely on us. We want our partner to rely on us. And we kind of get this sort of secret, I'll dare say unhealthy satisfaction of kind of like being the hero, being the mom who does it all for everyone. And so you have to be willing to explore those emotions if they are there. And you have to be willing to give that up because you're not going to be the hero in every story in your life if you choose something different, if you choose something that works for yourself rather than constantly choosing this sort of sadomasochistic way of being satisfied by being in pain all the time, right? Because if you can do that, that is really a big part of what triggers the domino effect of everything changing. So if any of this sounds just a little too familiar, you know, like, oh shit, she's in my head again this week. I want you to know you're not crazy, you're not lazy, and you're definitely not alone. Sometimes we just need to say this kind of thing out loud. Like the weight is not only on your body, it's also in your mind. It's also in your habits. It's in your I should haves. It's in your complete exhaustion. And when you finally see that, you can choose differently. When you finally see that, you can choose differently. Okay, that's what I have for you today. Nothing to do, just something for you to think about. And I hope you do think about it. Thanks for spending time with me. I'll see you right back here next time.